Hello, my name is Dr. Cindy Becker and I'm from the Department of English Literature at the University of Reading. This is one of a series of screencasts we're offering looking at revealing speeches and the questions they might pose for us. This screencast is looking at The Tempest and I'm asking, is Caliban a monster? Now when you first think about the character of Caliban, it might seem like an easy question to answer. We're told by Prospero that he is a freckled whelp hagborn, not honoured with a human shape. And Stefano calls him a monster to his face. So we might feel very secure to start with. But of course Shakespeare wouldn't do that to us. He wouldn't give us just a simple caricature when he can give us a much more complicated character. And when he could force us to start to think about what it is to be monstrous, what does monstrous mean, and what would that do to a character. So before we look at the speech in detail, I want to tell you where to find it. If you go to Act 3, Scene 2, the setup is that Caliban is talking to two other characters, Stefano and Trinculo. Both of them have been drinking. He's befriending them and he's trying to explain to them what the island is like. They can hear music, it's magic, they don't know that. And so he's trying to explain what it's like to live in his island. Be not afeard, the isle is full of noises, sounds and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twanging instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometimes voices that, if I then had waked after long sleep, will make me sleep again. And then, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open, and show riches ready to drop upon me that, when I waked, I cried to dream again. It is a beautiful speech. So what are we supposed to think about it? Well, first of all, it's a huge contradiction. Caliban once said to Prospero, "You taught me language, and my profit in it is I know how to curse. The red plague rid you for learning me your language." So you wouldn't expect at all a speech like this to come from a character like Caliban who curses the fact that he ever learnt language. So maybe we could think about slavery, we could think about power. This is potentially one of the key themes in the play. Maybe Shakespeare is resisting a simple reading as Caliban. We do have a reading which suggests he was deservedly enslaved by Prospero and that his conditions are fit for him. But if his conditions are so suitable as a punishment for his early behaviour, then why would he be able to give us a speech like this? It doesn't sound like just a simple monster. It is possible to read this as a questioning, an interrogation of whether Prospero ever had a right to take over this island. Did he have the right to make Caliban his slave? Or maybe it takes us further than that. Maybe it's talking about ideas of spirituality and a soul, that every being is capable of moving for a moment above the mundane, above the sordid, moving to a different level, a different plane of understanding. But before we leave this, we also need to think about it as the possibility. This speech is just a beautiful speech. It's just a beautiful speech. It describes a beautiful island. It's a flight of fancy. And it could have many other possible readings. So we're just giving you some options here, hoping that you might take it further as you continue to study Shakespeare. Thank you for listening.